Hello, this is the TradeTech U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Monday, June 10th, ending Friday the 14th, 2019. Hope you had a good trading week. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. We bounced a decent amount here this week. Actually, it was 5 days of mostly up after Monday. Um, Not sure if it was deserved or not, but we've got a cup and handle formation now on the broad market. So are we about to break out? I mean, the issue here is that the economy, ironically, we're seeing that the numbers are weakening enough that it means that there's rate cuts ahead instead of rate hikes ahead. It's a big switch from where we were just 6 months ago when they had 4 or 5 rate hikes planned out down the road here over the next year and a half. Now we've got it to the point where we could see potentially a cut in June, more than likely a cut in September, according to the Fed funds futures rate. So it's a big switch. Does the fact that the Fed's willing to potentially cut rates mean that the fact that the economy is weakening is okay and the market will be fine? And what happens if they don't cut rates? It's a lot of unanswered questions at this point in time. We'll get there and see what happens. So the ES in general has a cup and handle formation. Let's go through the major daily charts and then go from there. Crude oil up $1.45 on Friday to 54.04. Still down for the last month or two. By the way, I don't feel like it's down at the pump. I feel like the pump prices are higher than they've been in a while. Gold at all-time highs for the last year, up $2.20. S&P cash gains 29.85, not at highs. The Nasdaq 100 up 141.36, still nowhere. It's still several hundred points away from highs. SOX up 15.68. This thing's, basically where it was a year ago. Hasn't moved at all. Biotech's at 53.61. This is down for the last year. That's interesting. Russell 2000 also down for the last year, up 10 points on the session. The VIX gains 37 cents to 1630. The trend closes at 1.38. That keeps that moving average way up at 1.25. Nasdaq volume 2 billion shares. It's light. It's the same as the day before. It's under the 10-day moving average. We had some better volume days. Again, the down days are the volume days. The up days, lack of volume. It's not really a positive for the market. Advanced decline ratio on the Nasdaq plus 957. More stocks up than down on the New York plus 1385. Google gains back $20.61. Apple up $4.93. Netflix up $3.74. Puts it right in. This thing has not moved much since mid-January. This thing is exactly where it was in mid-January. So 5 months of flatness on what used to be one of the leaders in the market. Tough to trade this one anymore. Amazon up $49.67. So Google and Amazon recovering from the news earlier in the week about potential government breakups. Tesla down to $1.45. This thing's been in trouble for a while. Facebook, big gain, 5.02. It's a nice gain for Tesla for Facebook. Goldman Sachs literally break even on the day, not up or down a penny. And this thing's been sitting where it was back in mid-January as well. It looks like Netflix. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up $1.13, and the Dow was up 263 points. If we want to look at the week in 10-minute candles on the ES, here's what you get. So Monday, essentially flat opening, wiggled both ways, closed a little bit lower. And then Tuesday, gap up and went higher. Wednesday, gap up, filled, drifted back just above where we opened. Wasn't much of a day. That afternoon was so flat on Wednesday. Thursday, small gap up that filled almost immediately, dead flat all day until the last hour and a half or so on some Mexico trade news. And then Friday, a small gap up that never filled and went higher. So unfortunately, when you really look at the week, and while we are up, for example, and this is how amazing this is, we're up 120 points almost, or 110 points on the S&P for the week. But you can basically account for it in, the gap on Tuesday, the gap on Friday, and about, I'm going to give it maybe 3 hours of trading in the whole week. And the rest of the time was pretty flat. So it's not exactly an exciting market yet, but it is what it is. NASDAQ side, same deal. It was a little weaker on Monday. Tuesday, we were break even for the week. Wednesday, gapped up, filled, dead flat. Thursday, pretty much dead flat. As of Thursday, we were barely up, like late in the afternoon, we were barely up for the week at all. But then Friday, we get the gap and go day early, and then flat in the second half. We are into summer now, so we're talking about summer Fridays. They tend to be a little bit slower. We'll see what we can get. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. Oh, sorry, totally forgot. Totally blanked out. What do we have for economic data coming out this week? Monday, got a Fed member speaking. We got 9:45 final manufacturing PMI, 10 o'clock ISM manufacturing PMI, construction spending. Tuesday, we got a Fed member speaking and Fed Chair Powell speaks. Factory orders at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, ADP non-farm employment change, final services PMI data. ISM non-manufacturing PMI data, crude oil inventories at 10:30, Fed beige book at 2. Thursday, challenger job cuts, revised non-farm productivity, revised unit labor costs, trade balance. That's one of our big three each month. That's going to be a big number on Thursday. Unemployment claims at 8:30 a.m. That's the initial and continuing claims. Natty gas at 10:30, and then on Friday we've got. Sorry, guys. Let's look at the actual week ahead. JOLTS job openings on Monday. NFIB small business index on Tuesday. PPI on Tuesday. TIP economic optimism number on Tuesday. Wednesday CPI, that's a big number. Crude oil inventories an hour in. Federal budget balance. Thursday import and export prices along with the initial and continuing jobless claims number. Natty gas an hour into the market. 30-year bond auction in the afternoon. Friday retail sales, capacity utilization, industrial production, and the first University of Michigan sentiment number for the month. So sorry about that. I went through the wrong week first. That is the week here ahead. It is not much of a week for data. Looking at the wrong dates there. And so we'll see what we get. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.